this, we are going to understand the client-server relationship. So let me break this down so that it would be easy to understand. Every application has this client-server relationship. So every application will have a front end and the back end. The front end is also called as the client end or the presentation layer where your actual UI resides. And in the back end, you have the business layer or the application layer, and we have the database layer or the data layer. So in the business layer, the actual business logic, that is the code of your application, will reside. And in the database, the resources or the data would be stored. So we have this backend, which is also called as the server or service end. So this is the architect of the client-server relationship. Now let's understand how this works. Now consider you are on some app, say Spotify, and you want to play a song. Now you will hit a request saying you want to play some song. Now this request will be validated in the business layer, and if it is accepted, it will go in the database, fetch the required song, and it will send you a response by playing that song. So this is how the client sends a request and then you get a response from the server. Now let's take another example. Imagine you are using an app, let's say some shopping app, and now when you log in, your phone or your computer becomes the client. Now these two ends, they are developed on different technologies, and still we can communicate because of the APIs. So we will talk about this APIs in our API playlist. But for now, let's look at the SQL part only. Okay. So your phone or the computer becomes the client, and the system that store your data, like the account details, orders, or the wish list, that's your server. So when you hit the login, the client sends the request to the server. Now this server uses the SQL to query the database to fetch your data and send it back. So the response, if the data is found in the database, you would be able to log in. That is the response. So this is what we call a client-server relationship, where the client requests the data and the server responds using SQL.